Good morning, fellas. How are we doing today? It's been a while since I've been able to look you directly in the eyes. How are we doing, chat? Good morning to the Patrouski song. We've got some stuff to do today as per usual. Let's go ahead and get started. It's nice to have the setup behind me. We're right sitting in Krogung's face, ready for business. First order of business today, I need to get a shiny flip going, okay? I'm sitting on too much liquid cash. Yes, I have investments. I have, long-term stuff going on, but I need a little more shorter-ish to medium-range cash flow coming in. So I am going to go ahead and look for a shiny flip on the GTL a little more aggressively today. So let's see what happens. Well, wait a minute. Before we shiny flip, I do have a quick little meme made by Team Rocket here. This will be linked in the chat. He made me a spicy custom meme, which I appreciate. Let's see what it is.
Shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! 17 months!
That was a long hunt.
150 million Pokeyen! That's
a long hunt.
Push through. That's why, if you're not enjoying it for 1 hour, that's okay.
It's the edit! It's the meme! Wah! Good old COD 4. I can't play too much, so I'm gonna get copyright strike on this memer, but it's a banger meme made by Team Rocket. I appreciate that, dude. All right, how is the shiny market looking? I know it's kind of more expensive than it historically is right now, which is pretty interesting. Good IV shinies are going for more than they usually do. I'm going to look for 25, 25, 20, 20. I might ditch this special defense. I feel like there's a lot of people. I checked the markets. Let me switch to mail only as well. I checked off stream, and something I noticed, everything's up right now. Something I noticed is that, if I search, I think a lot more people are searching my old strategy. If I search 20 plus HP defense, I feel like there's like no flips. I feel like people have kind of come on to that strat. That's how I used to search for flips. I feel like there's nothing, like everything with those stats is so expensive now. I think I have to adjust because I think people are adapting to that strat, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the number one mistake I see about people trying to catch legendary birds is only going to spore it to catch it, like after they fall swipe it down and stuff. You should spore it first, fall swipe it down to 1 HP, and just like spore it every time it wakes up. Like the legendary bird should never ever wake up. I'm seeing a lot of people saying their bird woke up and struggled to death. That shouldn't be happening unless you like messed up or got super unlucky, but I see it happen a lot more than it should. But it's just my anecdotal perception. So just make sure to spore over and over and over again. Don't let them use that PP. Surely this 5 million Pokeyen shiny isn't a flip, right? What is going on with shiny prices? I actually can't believe it. Maybe there's just so few. Like, if I look up monster male 31 speed, that's it. How many are on the market? There's a fair bit. 81. I'm amazed. Shiny prices are just so expensive right now. It's pretty crazy. People are getting more into flipping, perhaps. It's a mixture of more people getting into shiny flipping for sure, part one. And then part two, it's off season. So event season just happened and it ended, right? So everybody made all this Pokeyen or made all these investments. There's not really Pokeyen to put into other investments at the current time. Right now, everybody's just has all this kind of extra Pokeyen and the game's kind of quiet, kind of, quieter, right? Deader, right? It wouldn't surprise me. I think a lot of people are just kind of breeding up their shinies. I think a lot of time right now, like people have the time to breathe and relax and do these sort of luxurious things, like breed up their shiny Pokemon. Maybe I think this Venipede might have flip room. It's only bug type, 3.1 million Pokeyen. It's competing with this Caterpie. 31 defense. I could maybe buy this for 3.1 and sell it for 4. Honestly, I have so much capital right now, it might actually be worth to make these smaller shiny flips. I'm fine with that. I wouldn't recommend doing a flip like this to other people, but I feel like this will sell pretty quickly. I'm pretty confident with that. I wouldn't recommend that to the average person. I'm not a huge fan. I guess making 900k off of a 3.1, it's not bad. It's like a 30% return. I think I just looked for too high of returns, honestly. I'm used to getting too high of returns. I think that shiny flipping is becoming so much more competitive. I'm going to have to deal with getting not 50%, you know, 70% returns. I think I need to kind of relax and be okay with that and kind of grow and adapt as the market grows and adapts. I think this Pelipper could have potential. It's Master Balled. That's how you know it's probably underpriced. If someone Master Balled it, they're probably a, on average, you know, lesser experienced player, which makes sense. The 20 plus in these stats, 31 defense is honestly super good for a Pelipper. The nature is irrelevant. It's level 100. That doesn't really matter. Gonna be used as a breeder. 20 plus in every stat except for special defense, correct? Yeah, it has that 20 plus special attack. So I'm gonna value that over the physical attack. We're gonna get rid of that and see what comes up. 2.6. I could at least flip this for like probably well, this is really good for 3.1. I don't beat that in comparison. Maybe I don't buy this because like, what do I sell this for? 3 mil? And you have to ask yourself, why would anybody buy this for 3 mil when they could buy this for 3.1? This Woobat hilariously might be flippable. Naughty nature, which is irrelevant. Maybe I should be looking more for nature as well. Let's do 25 plus on the special attack, 20 plus in these stats. This might actually hardcore be flippable, but this is man, I don't like this is 4.7 for a 2 times 31. But is it that relevant? I could buy this for 3.1 and probably do a similar thing, sell it for 4, like the last one. I'm okay with that. We're gonna do that. Once again, putting my money to work to some extent. I don't want to put too much money to work here because this is a market where definitely a market where if people stop caring about breeding up their shinies, a lot of this stuff could tank pretty hard and crash kind of hard. So that's our 2 shiny flips so far. We might get 1 more. All right, let's check nature. This isn't something I would normally do, but looking like 31 attack, like Adamant, 31 attack Jolly, and pretty much whatever. Like this Tentacool, not a great egg group, obviously, but this Onyx, for example, we're going to check Mineral egg group, 31 attack, Adamant, 2.5. Not really much. No flip room here with this being listed at that price. We're going to check Jolly. Actually, let's go back to all. I don't check for flips with nature nearly enough, and I honestly should start. Let's check Jolly. You can kind of just review this first page and that'll give you honestly all the possible flips that are there. Someone said, wait, how do you have 45 mil? I swear a few days ago you were at 6 mil. A few days ago I was actually almost at 100 mil cash due to donations. I can't even take credit due to a lot of just generous donations from people quitting the game. However, my Pokeyen stack aggressively moves up and down all the time, and it's for a couple of reasons. I spend a lot of money to make money, so my cash is always moving, right? Like you may see me most of the time I usually only have like 10 mil or less in cash, but I have like 500 million Pokeyen in items in my bag. I have 1400 anniversary chests. I think right now I have 69 million Pokeyen, not on purpose, on all in mysterious balls. I actually did a video about that, calculating that today and calculating my profits on that. So if you're interested in more economic PokeMMO stuff, I have a video coming out soon covering how damn good mysterious balls were as an investment. But I have so much Pokeyen in items. Like if I wanted to, I could just liquidate some of this stuff and have hundreds of millions of Pokeyen, but I'd rather keep my Pokeyen in stuff and have it making more money, just kind of in the background. As long as I don't need the cash. Eventually, I'll want to have the cash to like do egg hunts and do rare shiny hunts, but until then, I'm happy to just let it make me more, you know? When are we getting the Roth IRA update to PokeMMO so we can have our retirement shiny hunting fund? That's the real question. Okay, I know it's a Tentacool, but this is still actually nasty. 3 mil for these IVs, Adamant Nature. This still might be, this is actually filthy. If I just like get rid of all this, I feel like that's a flip, no? That seems pretty filthy. Maybe not though. I'm a little worried about that. What if I get rid of the nature? The nature is what really sells it. How many people need... There's a Jolly one for 4.2. I'm going to buy this actually 100%. I'm going to buy that for 3. Sell it for 4. Every single flip today. That's actually so funny. Every single flip today, everyone was buying a shiny for like 3.1 and then selling it for 4 mil. They were like all the same. That's the final shiny flip of today. I'm going to call it there. We're going to go shiny hunt, I think. I think that's pretty much it today. Okay, in terms of shiny hunting today, first things first, we're going to go check our honey trees #1, and then I'm going to head over to Kanto and go to the Ruin Valley Yanma spot and just kind of have a chance at catching that and encountering that Zapdos. as well as just for the Pokeyen, honestly. It's not, once again, not great Pokeyen per hour, but if I'm shunting there anyway, it's a cool spot. It shakes things up, should be a lot of fun. And let's do our honey trees first, though. I really want to get back into these. I want to get into these really hard and aggressively. Ooh, what's on the back screen today? Here we have Mass Effect 1, which is masterpiece of a game. I haven't played it very much. I've got to learn, dude. I've played a little bit of it, but I always get distracted and I never really finish it. I put it on because I want to play it tonight. After stream, well, not after stream. After stream, after stream, I edit and I export a bunch of videos. But after all that work, I'm gonna sit down and force myself to play the Mass Effect series a little bit, give it a solid try. I know that I'll enjoy it. There's games like that you know that you'll enjoy, and I got to do that. The laptop, this is just Frog. This is my laptop, Frog background. That's really it. Duckle plush here, Dragonite plush, Ditto disguised as a Snorlax plush. Hey bro, can you make more Pokemon Blaze Online content? I really like Pokemon Blaze Online. It's like a really good option for a unique, interesting Pokemon MMO. The hard part is it's tough to warrant playing two different Pokemon MMOs, right? Unless they're really, really different enough to be worth playing. And then even if they are, like, why would I play a second Pokemon MMO when I could go spend time playing Mass Effect or playing a different game that I really care about, like Dungeon Defenders, or there's only so much time in this world, right? And unfortunately, I don't want to spend my time playing two different Pokemon MMOs. I love PokeMMO. I love this game to death. It kind of fills every Pokemon, you know, need that I have, so I kind of just stick with that. So I apologize if people want to see other Pokemon MMOs. I appreciate the suggestions. I do actually, however, I do really want to give Pokemon Planet another try and do a first impression. I haven't played it in like a long time because it rebranded recently. Just recently, they rebranded to, I think, Pokemon Nexus. Pokemon Planet, an MMO that has been around since like 2013, 11, 12, like long time this game has been around, maybe 2010. This game has been around forever, and they just rebranded, which is very interesting. So I want to see what's going on with that game. Here's the anime take of the day. I don't get why people say, oh, this anime is bad because it has too much filler, right? Filler is literally made by the TV, the publisher company, right? Not the original writer, just to pump something out for the week to show on like live TV to like get ratings and numbers and earn some money, right? It's the equivalent of like, oh, I don't like this YouTube video because they showed a Raid Shadow Legends ad. Not like a sponsor, but just like an ad that's like totally like the YouTuber didn't choose to put that ad there, right? But imagine someone saying, yeah, this video actually sucked because this cringe ad was shown. And it's like, they didn't even choose or pick that content. How could you disrespect that piece of art for something that they didn't even like choose or do? In your video from this morning, do you think the devs would put Sweet Scent Ocarina in the game strictly for the money it would generate from gift shop purchases? Or I don't think so. I think the PokeMMO devs have really historically, in my opinion, never been too cash grabby. If anything, you could argue over the past year or so, they've become a little more cash grabby than ever. But even then, like, the only problem I have is Mysterious Balls. They put like $20. They've done $20, a lot of $20 vanities recently for like the Trick Kitty and the Pump Cat. At the end of the day, if people want to pay $20 for a cat, that's fine. It's the player's decision. I have no problem with that. If they want to put $20 vanities in the shop, it's a little funny. It's a lot for a vanity, $20. But I don't know if that's the fucking supply and demand. I think it's totally fine. I do take issue with the Mysterious Balls once again, like, which weren't even a gift shop thing, but it doesn't matter. Like, you know that people are buying RP vouchers to sell them for Pokeyen to buy the Mysterious Balls to be able to pay to win for a shiny. Like, I would definitely, the Mysterious Balls are one of the worst things for game integrity that have ever been released, and I don't think they're being talked about enough, honestly. But do I think they would implement a Sweet Scent Ocarina just for the gift shop sales? No, they're not dumb. The devs have historically really stuck to integrity and really made better decisions for the game, even if it's frustrating to the player. Like, they have made so many decisions that are frustrating to the players in the short term, but it's better for the game long term, such as the breeding changes in the current breeding system, such as the horde changes, like post Johto, right, with like the Miltank splits, the 80-20 horde splits. That made a lot of players mad, but it's for the betterment of the game. I kind of agree. So I don't think they would ever do that, but yeah, I don't think they would ever put a Sweet Scent Ocarina just for the money. But once again, not a fan of Mysterious Balls. Please, can we do something about that? What's the rat for? The Raticate. The shiny Raticate is to run from Wobbuffet. The weird thing about hunting in this spot, I have to pop a lore. The weird thing about hunting in this spot is that you have to have a runaway Pokemon to get away from Shadow Tag Wobbuffet. Why is the red dragon mount 2 mil more expensive than the golden one? It's a good question. It's really just supply and demand. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but it's super true. Lucky red. So the lucky red, what I think what happened is it just bought less. The lucky red dragon, it matches less outfits, right? So the lucky gold dragon, gold is a more neutral color, and this fits a lot more outfits than the lucky red. So I bet a lot more people bought it because I bet a lot more people preferred it as well. But if people need the lucky red, there's probably less of them that were bought. They match less outfits. They're a little more specific, but they're still in really high demand because they're super cool. So that is, in my opinion, why it ended up being a little more expensive than lucky gold. There it is, fellas. 54,000 encounters dry. Not any closer to a shiny. Wait, speaking of RP, wait a minute. Did you guys notice RP is at some of the cheapest it's ever been? And it usually does go down in price around this time. That's totally normal. I honestly want to go ahead and... It's 11 mil, though. This is so cheap. 1,000 RP for 2.2, 2.3 million Pokeyen. This is way cheaper than it normally is. It's usually around 2.5 to 2.6. It's been like 3.2 at times in the past. The reason why it's so cheap right now is because event season just ended. So all of the use of RP, all of the like limited time RP vanities, poof, they're all, they're gone until next October most likely, right? So yeah, RP is cheaper than ever because people don't need it for those exciting, flashy new vanities. The next time we'll probably need RP is in October. What's a shiny that grew on you? I love this question because I always say the more you play Pokemon, the less Pokemon you hate. The more you play Pokemon, the more Pokemon you like and the more shinies you like, and you just find reasons to like things. A really good example of a shiny that grew on me is shiny Jigglypuff. A really, really simple shiny. You pretty much just have like the eye color change, and that's like pretty much it. But it grew on me. Like those simple shinies with that small change really grew on me over time. Jigglypuff's the perfect example. Just the emerald eyes. It grew on me, and now I really do plan to hunt for one at some point with times 5 hordes. Any vanities you're saving up for? I was gonna say no, but actually, they're overpriced right now. I would consider getting one of those. Those are so old. Look at these. Look at this. God damn. If someone has a pair of these, they'd sell for 15 mil. I would buy one of these for 15 mil. That's pretty cheap though. So it's up to you. Yeah, I like the idea of having a niche old small vanity like that. That isn't a Holly hair clip. I think Vampire Fangs are one of the few expensive vanities that I actually am interested in. I just calced it, and Shiny Chansey is around 25 to 30 mil to egg. Is that accurate? I don't think that's accurate at all. But it is cheaper because Chansey is a female-only species, right? Which means you can just use... What's Chansey? It's Fairy Egg Group, right? So you have to use Fairy Egg Group? Yeah. So you can just use Fairy males, which are usually around 3k. They're not... Yeah, like 20... Yeah, 3k a piece. So if you do, 3k times 30,000, you're looking at 90 mil, right? It's expensive. It's not even... Actually, my calculator's not up. Sorry, let me fix that. Where's it hiding at? Oh, I see. It's in the bottom. There we go. Yeah, she's looking at 90 mil on average to shiny hunt for a Chansey, and that's like cheaper. Like that's on the cheaper end. Then yeah, Kangaskhan is a cheapish one, quote unquote a cheap egg hunt because it's a female only species in like the field egg group, right? Let's check. Skitty is an egg hunt, which a lot of people don't think about or realize. Monster, okay. So monster males. Yeah, so a Kangaskhan, 2k a piece. A Kangaskhan's going to cost you... You'd probably try to buy these as boxes, to be fair, and be a little cheaper. But let's say 2,000 times, 30,000. Gonna be what, 60 mil? So 60 mil to egg hunt for like a shiny Kangaskhan on average. Let's say Skitty is the cheapest, I think, egg hunt. I think it ends up being... Field egg groups are so cheap. Field males are like consistently 1 to 1,500. Like they're super cheap. This is like kind of expensive in my opinion. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if monster boxes go for like 60k. Yeah, that's what I would sell them for, like 60 to 100k depending, which makes sense. I think 100k is like in that middle ground section. There are some like quote unquote cheaper egg hunts due to specific species being like one gender or whatever. But though even then they're not, you know, that cheap, but it's cool that they exist. It's cool to think about them as like mid-tier egg hunts. Okay, I want to switch things up. Even though I have some lore steps left, we're gonna head over to Sinnoh and go do another honey tree run. I want to get back to that. And I have 3 minutes of charm, and I want to use those 3 minutes, honestly, to just go check honey trees and have that boost on that. So we're going to go check. We're going to see what we can get, fellas. Hey, Pat, do you know why we can search for mons on the GTL with the Protean ability, but there are no mons with the ability? I would assume... Let's see. How do I... Has ability. Where is it at? Has ability. I would assume it's because Kecleon... He can't learn it in PokeMMO, right? But I would assume because it's in the code, right? I would assume it's in the Gen 5 or whatever. I would assume it's in the code, in the ROMs that we provide or whatever. So it's just there always as an option. It probably just reads that list. And then one day they could add Kecleon Hidden Ability Protean, and it would just be able to be function and be good. It's a good question, though. It's a cool thing to look out for future content like that. Wyrm Worms to the moon. How are Wyrm Worms doing? Let's see. 43k. That is pretty crazy. They consistently have been risen. I think a lot of vanities like this just kind of get bought out by memers and kind of just get sat on. I think it's a good vanity. To be fair, I really like the Wyrm Worm. It's a good vanity. But I think Wyrm Worms and Kobons kind of do get artificially risen by memers. Partially by memers like me. I mean, what can I like dumb, cheap 20k hat vanities. I think they're fun, dude. I've been doing some random ranked battles, and I was near novice trainer, and then I ended up fighting against some top 100 trainers, and a couple of them. Is that the same for every mode? Sometimes you'll get placed against like higher players like that. Dude, in my opinion, I love that shit. I know it's like for a couple reasons. Number one, obviously they're gonna be way better than you, so it's way harder to win. But there's like 2 reasons why I love this, right? So reason number 1, you improve so much more at the game playing against better players. You really do. It sucks and it's harder because you're probably gonna lose a lot more. I'm kind of a psychopath. I love that shit. I remember when I was a kid, dude, I wanted to play basketball against the tallest kid in the neighborhood and have him fucking stuff me in the face 1,000,000 times, and that's how I improved. I like that shit, but that shit's also kind of insane, right? I don't expect the average person to do that. But the second reason is, if you happen to win that game, you get way more elo and you lose less elo. So if you lose against a top 100 opponent and you're like 500 elo or whatever, you only lose like 5 or 6 elo, but if you win, you gain like 14 to 15. So it's a lot. Like you have a huge advantage as a higher ranked player. You hate playing against lower ranked players because you lose so much elo if you happen to lose to them, and it can be really stressful, and you can end up making a lot of mistakes in those matches because like the stress is on. Okay, I'm gonna pop my own shiny charm for the first time today. Let me head over to this honey tree. We're gonna get into position, and then we'll go ahead and increase the odds forever in our favor. Good luck, guys. 20% increased odds of getting a shiny here. Let's see what happens. And we get that Cherubi, Combee, anything would be nice? Anything at all? Wait, speaking of the item finder, dude, I haven't made a video talking about this, but I would love to talk about the way that old trainer rematches work. So trainer rematches have been a thing for a long time, but you used to have to use the VS Seeker. Nowadays, the VS Seeker doesn't really do anything. It's like an unfunctional item, essentially, right? But back in the day, back in like 2013, 2014, you'd have to like run back and forth and like get all these steps to trigger the VS Seeker to be able to use it to be able to rebattle like 3 or 4 trainers in the area, and you have to go do more steps. Like you'd have to do that every time to rebattle a few trainers. You don't have to do that anymore. That was a pain in the ass, the VS Seeker stuff. It was pretty fun though. There were some cool strategies, but yeah, Verse Seeker, VS Seeker, it's a strange item that's like no longer really relevant in PokeMMO. Hey Pat, what do you think about having a daily login reward system in PokeMMO? Daily login rewards are strange. I've seen a lot of people asking for this recently, and it's kind of funny to me. Daily login rewards are mostly used by mobile games to encourage players to log in, just to log in every day, to build habit, to get them to load up the game, and to get them to spend money on microtransactions. Daily login rewards are almost always used by games, not always, but almost always used by games as a malicious way to mentally trick people into always loading up the game, and if they don't, they're like missing out. It's almost always a mobile game feature and always a way to like get people to spend more money. It's very funny to see people asking for them. I think daily quests or like systems like that are much better. Maybe that's what people mean when they say that. What an era we live in where people are asking for a system that is used to maliciously mentally trick them. That's why they were designed in the first place. But if people might say that, but they may mean they want like daily quests or like a more directed thing to go do, which is totally fine. So I think daily quests but daily quests can also kind of do that, which is a problem. I think quests in general, an achievement log, something that gives the player a little more direction would probably be good. At the end of the day, PokeMMO is a game where you create your own journey and you set your own journey. I think a lot of people kind of just need to learn to set their own goals. And if you don't want to set your own goals, it's totally okay if PokeMMO isn't the game for you. I always compare it to like kind of old school Minecraft, like alpha Minecraft. If you enjoy creating and thinking of a bunch of buildings to build, a big cobble castle in the sky, maybe a giant glass mountain, like if you can think of these things and go do them, you'll play the game forever. You can play alpha Minecraft for thousands of hours. But if you get 3 diamond or get full diamond gear and a full diamond pickaxe and whatever, and then you quit, you're probably not going to last in PokeMMO either. It's not really... PokeMMO is a game that rewards people for being very self-sufficient and very self-motivated, which, dude, for a lot of people don't want to come home from work after working 9-10 hours and have to be self-motivated just to play a game. I'm not trying to dick on these players. I super understand why PokeMMO isn't for everybody. But I think it's also okay for it to not be for everybody. And I don't think the game needs to change around that to be for, like, at a sacrifice. I think you lose something positive in PokeMMO once you do start directing the player a little more. I think it being a very free range adventure and very open world is very enjoyable for me personally. I would feel a lot more pressured if I had to do like a daily quest every day, where I had to do these things if the rewards were so good, you know? And how do you make the rewards good enough to where they're worth doing, but not too good of rewards to where you don't need to do them either. You kind of just ignore them. So it's a really tough thing to balance. Once again, I think my answers to this are things like leaderboards. Leaderboards are just good to add, and then something like an achievement log. An achievement log, or just achievements in general, these are strictly positives from my eyes, while also achieving the same goal of slightly guiding the player, but in a little bit more of a free-form way than daily logins or daily quests. Yeah, I got another question about like, hey, I took a break from the game. What have I missed? And there's a lot, dude. Like, I'll reiterate again. Like, if you took a break from the game, it's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. If you took a break from the game, you missed a lot, so you have a lot to catch up on. But also, you have a lot to catch up on. You know, new content. That's exciting. And then, so it can be overwhelming, but it's also fun, and it's good, and it's tough because, you know, for the players that are actively playing, it means you're constantly being given more stuff, and you're giving more stuff to do, more content, yada, yada, right? But if you take a break, it's a little harder and a little more overwhelming to come out. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. The game's been, I always say this over and over and over again, the game is being updated more now. The game has been updated more over the past 2 years than it was in the previous 10. The player base has increased a lot, and the devs are noticing, in my opinion. This is like my observations, and I feel like they're putting a lot more into the game since there's so many more players. Yo, Pat, do you think they're going to nerf netball? I will go ahead and make a prediction right now. This is just my thoughts and feelings. I could be totally wrong. I think that over the next 3 to 6 months, I think they're going to nerf netball, number 1, buff repeat ball. That's my 2 predictions. Yeah, someone's buying the fuck out of Mysterious. I literally bought 7 Mysterious Premier Balls this morning for 370k. Now the cheapest is... I've been saying for a long time, dude, there's not that many Premier Balls to go around. If someone wants to go for a single Shalfa from a Premier Ball, the whole market's going to get bought up and they're going to go up in price. I feel like these could reach 600k, like, pretty easily. We'll have to see what happens, obviously. That's obviously temporary because, you know, when someone buys up the market, they buy it up. People will notice that. They'll list them. You know, it's only a temporary change right now, but... good to watch and keep in mind. Holy shit, Trex. Shinies, keep on shiny hunting. 3 legendary lures, 1,000 expert lures is super generous and super helpful to the shunts, and 1,000 leppas. Very generous of you, man. That is a fucking huge shunting care package. Thank you so much, dude. God damn. I hope the content has been helpful enough to be worth that, man. Yeah, that's super generous and crazy. It's crazy. I used to not accept. I didn't accept donations for like the first, I want to say year to year and a half of doing content. But eventually I started facing the fact that like the issue was I was falling behind. I literally didn't have time to go make Pokeyen, and I didn't have time to like, I was really struggling, particularly on the Cranidos era, I was really struggling. I didn't have time to go make Pokeyen, to go buy expert lures and shiny charms and dinner statuses and dittos to do like this fun, exciting content. Also just stuff I wanted to do, to be fair. But I was spending so much time making videos and scripting and doing content and like studying and researching and learning topics to make videos on. I never had time to make Pokeyen. So I eventually was like, you know what, like if this is people's way to give back, if this is their way to say thank you, if they don't want to donate obviously via like Twitch subs, stuff like that, you know what, I appreciate it. Like I'm gonna start taking it. So it's funny because I'm very much the person where, like, I didn't want to take donations because it feels like, then it feels like my account is ruined. It feels like I didn't really earn it. But eventually at a point I was like, well, I'm falling way behind because I don't have time to make Pokeyen because I'm spending too much time on content. So if that makes, yeah, that's my explanation. My reasoning, maybe I'm just coping, maybe I'm just, I don't know. It took me a long time to come around to that. It took me a long time. I didn't accept donation for a long time. I had to really ponder that for quite a while, and it's still a tough thing to, I think it's a tough thing. I'm getting free fucking gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. All right, fellas, a nice 5-hour stream today. Here is the last honey tree check. It was nice to come back with Facecam. It was a fun stream. Some good memes, good questions, but I'm exhausted. I'll be seeing you guys later. Thanks for watching. 54,549 encounters dry. Surely the shiny has to come tomorrow. Copium, hopium, you know the drill. If you guys enjoyed today's stream, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like on it. It helps out tremendously. Dislike if not, that's okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily videos. I upload every single day. Follow the Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's links down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations are super appreciated. Have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Have a good night. Good luck on your shinies. Hey, thanks so much for watching the entire video all the way to the end. I really appreciate that, and I hope it was a positive asset to your day. And I also want to quickly say extra thank you to everybody whose name is on this list and goes above and beyond and allows me to do what I do. Thank you very much. Have a good one.